I've been watching his racetrack for a number of years, and it's just phenomenal. Just on the other side of the border, Owosso Speedway. I have struggled with the name of this racetrack. Everybody that watches Racetime Radio knows that I've struggled, but I finally got it. It's Owosso Speedway, and the owner promoter is with us live tonight. Let's welcome in Rex Wheeler. What's going on, Rex? How are you, buddy?
How you doing, Joe? Thanks for having me on.
Man, oh man, you got burned last night too. Rain got you guys. I was sitting on Racing America and I'm watching Jennerstown because we had Trayton Lapsevich running there, and then he broke, and I kept going back and trying to get Owosso up because I knew we had some Canadian guys down there at your place getting ready to go for the super late models, but it didn't happen. Mother Nature won that round.
Well, actually, Jim, we had a couple delays, but we did get the race in last night.
Well, the coverage didn't pop up. Like it said, delayed till 8 p.m., and I'm waiting, and it was like 20 after 8, and it still wasn't up. I kept checking, so it did go live.
Yeah, we did. We had two rain delays yesterday, one a little earlier in the day in practice.
Yeah.
And thank goodness we got a couple jet dryers, so they helped dry it out. And then it was looking beautiful, and then out of nowhere, here come another, just a quick 5-10 minute shower, and we went back to drying it up again. So yeah, it was about 11 p.m. last night when we got finished up. A little later than we liked, but we had a good race.
Who won? Who won? Man, I've been watching the Reveal the Hammer. I've been watching what you're doing as well, and you just got a bunch of really good Outlaw Super Late models at that facility each time.
Sure, yep. Steve Needles went to victory lane last night, and Steve's had a little bit of a rough year with all of his outlaw stuff with Reveal the Hammer and us, and he's a heck of a driver, and finally got to put it in victory lane last night at Owosso Speedway.
Incredible. How did the 10 car make out? Did Blake, he must have been there.
Yeah, he was there. The car always runs strong, and yep, so had a couple of incidents there, and our race control, to the number on the side of that car, they put him to the back like anybody else, and that happens late enough in the race, you don't win. So again, I always tell people any competitor at my racetrack is who I'm rooting for, and Steve Needles worked hard. He was fast all night long, and he went to victory lane. So glad to see Steve back there.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friend, you have a beautiful facility. You have really done an amazing job with Owosso, and the upgrades continue each time I tune in. It seems like there's something else. Look at this, Rex added this, he did that. It's the facility that a lot of people talk about on both sides of the border.
Well, some things that I said when we bought the track back to September 30th, 2022, some of those things, Joe, are still the same. One is our goal, the nicest, safest short track in America. That's our goal. That's an awful big goal. The one thing that I was off a little bit is I used to tell people when I first bought it, give me 3 years, I'm going to have this old racetrack fixed up. Well, 2.5 years into the fixing up, I'm going to tell you, give me 8 more years, and I'm going to have that place fixed up. So, we are making it beautiful. It costs a lot of money. It's a lot of dedication, and we just love it. Yesterday, a couple of our young racers come up to me, and it wasn't even their night. They were out there with their dad. But that's our future of auto racing, and it's just exciting to see these guys come. And Keelan Harvick, 13 years old this year, runs second place in a 200-lap race. So that's what drives us and keeps us going to keep this short track alive.
But you can tell, I've been in this game a long time, and you can tell the difference between someone that has got a racetrack that looks at it as strictly a business proposition, and, when the racetrack's not running, well, they're on the golf course, so they're doing what they enjoy doing. Rex, you're not that kind of guy. When the racetrack's not running, you're thinking about what I can do to my racetrack to make it run even better and faster and get more fans into it. You can tell that you're, number one, first a race fan, and now you're a track owner promoter.
Yeah, well, Joe, and I even own some race cars, but I can tell you there will become a day that I own a racetrack and don't own race cars. So the racetrack is the long-term thing. Um, and I tell people I don't hunt, I don't fish, and I'm no good at golf. I've tried all those things. I got friends that do all them things, and it's kind of funny they don't invite me to do those things anymore because I'm not a good hunter, I'm not a good fisherman, and I'm sure no good at golf. So, as much as those things are a lot of people's passion, mine's going to a racetrack, and I get questions like, you only race 5 months out of the year. Why would you invest this type of money into a racetrack way up in the north? And I said, well, boy, I like those odds. So I work for 5 months and I get 7 months to go out and scout and watch racing all over the country. I actually think that's a pretty good deal.
It is. It is. Now, it doesn't come easy, though. You have got successful businesses that you're doing multitasking. Put it that way with Owosso the Speedway and keeping everything together and really moving the ball down the field. What else do you do?
We're in the trucking business, so we're in the new vehicle logistics. So way back in my early 20s of age in 1988, I climbed in a semi truck and we deliver new vehicles. So and I did that as a truck driver for 22 years. And in year 2009, my job came to an end. So I started my own trucking company in 2010, and today we have 304 trucks on the road. We run all United States and Canada, and business in the trucking business has been slow for about a year. It's never level ground; it's uphill or downhill. But we had a really good run, and the industry will come back. 2023, we delivered 300,000 vehicles to
Wow.
car dealerships and truck dealerships across United States and Canada. Um, so, I tell my kids, I got two kids now, and my kids are in their 20s, and I tell them, you better learn how to make money because I'm spending all mine. I'm not leaving nothing.
Yeah, good advice, right? And that's the way. That's the way you were probably taught, right, Rex? You got to carve your own path.
That's right. You got to carve your own path, and I'm enjoying life, and we're just having a ball at Owosso Speedway. And for guys like you to pay attention to what we're doing, the racing industry sees we're sure trying, and uh, it's so rewarding to do what you do, especially when you see that next generation coming up. Somebody's got to carry this sport on into the future.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not going to carry itself. And if there's anything I've learned about the race competitor based Rex is if you leave them long enough, they will eat themselves and beat themselves out of this game. So you got to have a mind and an eye on them to keep the level playing field that, racetracks need to do. Formulate rules that keeps them in the game, lets them be creative, all of the above, and it's a real balancing act that you have to do with the hat that you've got on. And my friend, you were doing an outstanding job with it. I look at the schedule for Owosso, and there is still more big events coming. At most short tracks, you look and there will be 2 or 3 events, staple events throughout the course of a season. It's not like that at Owosso. Every event, there's nothing regular about your schedule.
It's not, Jim. This year we really took on a lot. 31 events in 24 calendar weeks. So, like this week we raced twice. We had the Michigan 300 on Wednesday, Outlaw Super Late Models yesterday with trucks, sport compacts, mini wedges. So we still got 7 weeks left. In the next 7 weeks, we've got 9 more races in 7 weeks. The Owosso Nationals is coming up. That's a really big event for us. Um, Next year, when you look at, we're a family. All of us are family. All of our employees are family, and even our racers. So next year, we're going to cut back just a little bit. We're still going to have that 23, 24 weeks on the calendar, but we're not going to be doubling up quite as much. It's very important that we have 7 local divisions that count on us, everything from mini wedges to outlaw super late models. They're all going to be on the schedule. But when you start cutting back a little bit, taking a few holiday weekends off, the writing's on the wall that each division's going to get a little less. So we're working on that now. We released those details at our banquet, which this year is on Saturday, November 8th at Soaring Eagle Casino in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. But we're not going to forget about any of those racers right from our mini wedges on up. And but we also got to allow the people that work for our facility, work for our track, to have a weekend off and go camping or do something different. Because Joe, just because you and I think there's nothing else going on in this world, our employees actually might want to go use their camper or their fishing boat. So we think we're going to take 5 weeks off next year.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that. If anything, it gives everybody a chance to reload and regroup. And man, I don't know of any industry in this North America that wouldn't be able to profit by having a little bit of time where it gives you time to think and reload and get things put together. It's amazing to look at the schedule and the value that you offer, Rex Wheeler, at Owosso. I can attest to this. We have faithful viewers and listeners. Wayne Bratton happens to be from Simcoe, Ontario. I didn't know Wayne from the next guy, but I've got to know him throughout the course of Racetime Radio. The other night, he said to his wife, "What do you think we go to Owosso and we'll catch the Michigan 300?" And to his amazement, his wife said, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." So he went, perfect. He went down to Owosso, and the email I got back from him, Rex, was amazing. He has been to 160 short tracks in North America. Wayne is a super fan. Going to that many racetracks, you got to know that he's got snow on the roof like we do. And he will break down a speedway like I've never seen. He has given Owosso the number one score that I have seen. Now, he has taken in the IWK 250 at Riverside, a beautiful facility, and he says that in there. He has been to the Slinger Nationals. He's been to all the big short tracks that you and I either look at, been to, or want to go to. Wayne Bratton's been the guy that has done that. And I can tell you, the score you got was the best I've seen him give. And that's saying a lot. But the value is there. You've got that in mind, too. When you're booking these shows, they're not cheap. You're going top level. And usually when a track goes top level, the fan is paying up for it at the gate. Yet, when I look at your gate, you're offering tremendous value for race fans, whether you're here in Canada or in the U.S. Man, I'll tell you, it's a place to go.
Well, Joe, when you think about that, growing up, we didn't have any money growing up. And if I ever got here living in Michigan, if I ever got to go to an NFL game like Detroit Lions, I had to sit in the end zone. We couldn't afford 50-yard line. So I used that as our conversation piece. So when we look at the north side of the track, we just put in the new grandstands on the north side. Mm-hmm. The start-finish line is on the south side. So the south side is really going to be nice once it's developed. So we talked about that. Do we build the south side first at the start-finish line, or do we build the north side first? We decided to build the north side first for this reason. Number one, value to fans. Them are aluminum bleacher boards, and those are our cheapest seats. So you use the football analogy. That's my end zone. Now, when I build Owosso South, they're going to be flip-down seats, cup holders. It's like a stadium. It has a lower level and an upper level above you. So if you want to get a lower level upper seat, you have a roof over your head for the hot sun, or maybe a sprinkle that comes through, and your own defined chair with armrest. So that's going to cost a little more. But it lets people come to the same game, come to the same race. So we will always make sure Owosso North is priced very reasonable for the Rex Wheeler that could only afford that end zone when I grew up, and for someone that says, hey, I can afford a couple more bucks. I want that roof over my head because it's pure sun and 85 degrees today. I'd like to be in the shade. But if we would have built Owosso South first, we would have had to charge for those amenities because it cost a lot more to build it. So when we're done, right now we're at 11,000 seats. Keep in mind, in 2022, that track was 4,000 seats. Mm-hmm. So we're 11,000 today. If I keep waking up every morning and keep moving forward with life, we're going to seat 22,000 people. It's going to be America's nicest short track. and there's going to be value all around that racetrack because I know how I grew up. It's you had to learn to push a lawnmower and make money. It was tough, and we see that, and we see the value in that. So that's what we're going to do. And would you rather see, twice as many smiling faces? If we can keep prices down, we're going to get a bigger crowd. And our goal is to to introduce new fans to auto racing, short track racing. We've got a lot of work to do, Joe, there's so many options in today's world for people to do entertainment. There was 2,000 racetracks after World War II. Now we're under 800. We got to do our job to get to people to come out. We give away a lot of free tickets to people that has never been to our track. We'll let them try it one time for free because we feel confident they'll enjoy the night out and they'll come back and enjoy us again.
Well, and that's the whole thing, isn't it? You leave no fan behind, and that's what you're doing, Rex, by describing the future and what's to come at Owosso. You are leaving no race fan behind. You're going to be able to cater to all the different ends, and that's cool. You're going to work off volume. It'd be the same as delivering cars, right? You don't take one car at a time across the border. You take them by the trailer load because it makes more sense, right?
Absolutely. And that's what we want to do. When we look at an empty seat, we say, what would it take to get two people there side by side, right? That's two people. And if they feel like they get a good value, maybe they'll buy a hamburger, maybe they'll buy a beer, maybe they'll buy an ice cream. So we do feel that we got a good plan. Now, as far as all other owners in tracks, it is a business, and I understand that they have to look at everything. And so we're sure trying to work industry-wide to keep friends and keep going. Everybody has a little different way of doing it. We get a lot of credit for what we're doing at Owosso Speedway, but you know what, Joe? I give credit to 11 owners before us. They kept it a racetrack and kept those gates open, and we know there's been tough times, and so we credit for that because, as we know, a lot of racetracks, Rockford, Illinois, that's no longer a racetrack. Greenwood, Nebraska, that's no longer a racetrack. And so with me to put out any rumors, because there's always new ones started, we own one racetrack and that's it. That's all we ever want to own. I want to go to your racetrack and visit your racetrack, but I only want to own one. And we love it up here in the north, so we're right here level with you, with our Canadian friends, to where we're up here and we can't race 10 months out of the year like Texas or Florida, but that's okay because we can jump in a vehicle or jump on an airplane and go visit their racetrack, and that's really fun.
It is, and it's funny because you learn something when you go to those other facilities, and believe you me, when they come to Owosso, they're going to learn something to take back to their facility. What's it like dealing with the other short tracks in your market? Michigan is a hotbed for short track racing. Do you work well with others, so to speak, or did the track owners get together?
We do. Of course, in Michigan, we're one of the few states in the United States that, we have the Michigan Promotor Speedway Promoters Association. So we actually have two meetings, a spring meeting and a fall meeting, to get together. And the purpose of that organization is to lean on one another and share your experiences and get better. And I believe Wisconsin is another state that has that. So that is such a great organization. And as far as us with other short tracks, I believe when I come in and I announce what I wanted to do, the folks that didn't know me may have been a little nervous of, oh boy, this guy might suck up all the fans in the state. The folks that got to know me over the last 2.5 or 3 years in the industry knows we're a friend to anyone. Call and ask us. We'll help you if we possibly can. And we're just... you hit it right off the beginning of the conversation, Joe. When you're a race fan, this is your industry. This is what you do all day long, 12 months out of the year. You want to help the industry, and there's so much great in this industry. It's hard to describe to the normal person what a racer is like when the mom's holding the 1-week-old baby in the little checkered flag onesie in the hauler in the pits. this is what they do, and they come out and put a show on, and they're competitive, and so it's a great industry. And what one other thing that we're doing is we're all going to get older, right? And there's times that we might need a walker. There's times we might need a wheelchair. So when we're done with the Owosso Speedway, there is elevators, wheelchair ramps. There's elevated spots in our grandstand that you can get to, even in a wheelchair. Not today, but it's coming
Yep.
to where you got a great view of that racetrack. Even though row one, you can see our entire track. It's a great layout. Um, we're thinking of the future, and myself. I hope I'm around for another 30 years to enjoy my racetrack, and you never know if you might need that elevated view and a little bit of help.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the way to do it. It's big picture thinking. And Rex Wheeler, you're definitely big picture thinking, and that's what it takes to excel in this. And man, I'll tell you, the words Owosso Speedway are locked into this old melon, and I can't wait to come and visit your speedway. I would urge every fan, no matter where you are, you got to make it out to Owosso and check it out and experience it. And make sure you get back to us and tell us what your experience is, what was like. I can almost guarantee you that it's going to be knock it out of the park style event and enjoyment. This has been pretty cool catching up with you. We could, you and I could go for 2 hours, no problem, Rex.
Absolutely. Well, Joe, I appreciate you having me on. We love our Canadian racers. We love our Canadian race fans across the border, and come to our track. So we'd love to see those smiling faces.
Hey, we got room here in the studio for something Owosso. We've got a little bit of everybody here. So you find that little thing and you make sure you get it this way, and we'll get it on this set because you're definitely a part of Racetime Radio from now on.
All right. Thank you. I'll do that, Joe. Thank you so much for having me on.
That is Rex, right there. Rex Wheeler, Owosso Speedway. You do not want to miss an event there. And the good part is you don't have to miss an event. Pretty well everything they do is live streamed. You want to be there. You want to experience with your own peepers and do what Wayne did. He's got me so excited. I wanted to go this past weekend, but I am locked in here. But I am going to make it to Owosso Speedway, and more than once